I'm here to advocate for increasing ecosystem services by updating this vacant lot. Think of all the potential. If this lot were transformed into a park, they could add trees and other greenery. Not only would they beautify the road, but trees would help to regulate the air quality by acting as a natural filter to uptake gases and intercept airborne particulates. Once the area starts to become more developed and traffic increases, trees would also help to break up the urban heat island effect that comes along with development and prevent rising temperatures. It would also help to decrease the toxicity of emissions. Regulating services are often taken for granted and include those that maintain air, water, and soil quality and mitigate natural disasters. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, or EPA, vacant lots are often the result of neglect and can become wastelands, which can lower property values. These abandoned areas tend to exist unevenly in less affluent neighborhoods. Brownfields are unproductive areas targeted for development, but that can be difficult because they're usually victims of waste dumping, which can contaminate the ground with unwanted heavy metals such as lead and arsenic or toxic organics. The EPA has noted an estimated 450,000 brownfield sites in the U.S., many of which are vacant lots. Don't fret though, there are many efforts to revitalize them. Since 2006, the Brownfield program has accomplished almost 120,000 cleanups. Remediation can be as drastic as replacing a lot of contaminated soil or as intricate as planting greenery to reduce soil contaminants. Dendro remediation is a strategy that uses trees to mitigate pollutants. An ongoing 10-year study initiated in Detroit has shown that poplar and willow trees are able to survive in several extreme areas. Poplar trees have been shown to accumulate metals in their leaves and volatilize organics, while studies on willow trees have conveyed that they likely uptake metals into their leaves and bark. The great news is that land is not usually developed without rigorous testing for pollutants, but if you do suspect that you're living on a former brownfield, you could search for the nearest soil testing lab. Canopies also provide a charming shelter for humans on unbearable summer days. I guess in this lot you could burrow under the sand.
Hey now, vacant lots aren't all that bad. In fact, are vacant lots really vacant at all? These are underused and underappreciated areas in our cities, and they can provide a lot of valuable ecosystem services. So these so-called empty lots of yours are actually full of life. Small plants like the ones we see behind us, and larger plants, even trees, and woody stem species. These plots of land can provide valuable habitats for animals in our cities, and that can themselves be a valuable source of biodiversity. The vegetation in these spaces can also help remove harmful air pollutants such as nitrogen and sulfur dioxides, and even carbon monoxide and ozone. And they can also be a helpful store of carbon dioxide in the air and can help cities achieve their goals related to climate change and reducing their net carbon emissions. And the larger plants and trees can also provide control for surface water runoff off of roads and other impermeable surfaces and regulate urban temperatures through the use of shade. So with a little bit of management, a little bit of care, vacant lots like these can be allowed to thrive into sources of biodiversity that provide valuable services and can be a welcome green space for all people to enjoy.
Well, the trees also provide a habitat for our furry squirrel buddies and flying friends, but they support so much more biodiversity of smaller organisms that you can't see. This helps to ensure a healthier functioning ecosystem.
Yeah, trees, shrubs, and area of grass or soil in cities, known as urban forests, offer a number of ecosystem services, including improving air quality, microclimate regulation, shade, and recreational facilities. Well, however, not all trees provide these ecosystem services equally, and these services provided by trees are often overlooked. These services might include allergens, pests, and insects, leaf litter and debris, falling branches, wild animal droppings and bites, obscure views, and enhance the fear of crime. For example, too dense trees can have no space for recreation, darkness and safety issue, potential threats of wildfire. Also, much litter or leaf can clog urban drainage system that may occur floods. So that's why we need to implement bioswales in there. Furthermore, trees are very management intensive. It requires continuously management costs, pruning, or something like that. Sometimes roots can destroy sidewalk. But bioswale don't need to be managed regularly. Its maintenance cost is almost zero. Hence, bioswales can provide a lot of ecosystem services. I'm gonna argue the benefits of bioswale according to 4 categories of ecosystem services. Provisioning services of bioswale are focused on water supply and the production of vegetation and biomass for energy, food, and water. And it is able to enhance stormwater retention for infiltration and water supplies. Second, regulation services of bioswale are flood control, water purification, climate regulation, and carbon sequestration. Third, cultural services of bioswale can be considered as economic, cultural, social value, as you see the skateboarders. They also provide a place for environmental and ecological education. Lastly, supporting services was centered on increasing biodiversity and habitats provided by bioswale.
This guy might have a point, but he seems to have something against trees. I set off to find some real examples of people enjoying cultural services from them, so that he might even want to plant a few more trees himself. Ah, this is great! So many people experiencing cultural ecosystem services by enjoying recreation and aesthetic inspiration provided by trees. This can also apply to tourism and spiritual connections with nature. Now that it's finally sunny outside, I'm able to find examples of people benefiting from trees planted right here on campus. Hanging out in style, comfortably shaded. An upper body workout. Gorgeous backdrop for cool people. These trees create a scenic moment for beautiful picture taking and bonding at Purdue. Maybe I can get him out of the office for a few minutes to show him what he is missing. You may say that trees are in the way, but they enable many cultural services that we take advantage of. Where else would we hang our hammocks after the most difficult exam? Also, if you forgot locks for your transportation and there isn't a tree around, good luck finding storage. There's so many different kinds of vacant lots and so many different things we can do with them.
What do you guys think the best way to manage the vacant lot for enhancing ecosystem service?